So today is the day that this 1972 Dodge D100 gets a nice set of wheels and tires that actually match and can go down the road at 60 miles an hour. Stay tuned. Poor Rump has had these terrible wheels and tires on here that are mismatched for the past year. If you remember the first video, I put this one on. Now the problem is, these tires are older than I am. This is a spare off of like a 98 Jeep Wrangler, and it's as old as I am. I mean, it's a brand new tire per se, it's never been ran, but it's just as old as I am about. So, we've got a fix over here. American Racing Jeep wheels. I got them on Facebook Marketplace. Look like 15x7s with a 225 75 15. I'm honestly surprised by how well these drums work.
Oh, yeah. I drove up to the guy asked me if they had disc brakes all the way around. I said, no, it's got drums all the way around. No, I wouldn't have that. That's what I said.
It is. They do work. I'd put these up somewhere. Use them to hold something up. It was like the first weekend of October last year that I got it. All those tires are still holding air somehow. So these are a 15 by, if I had to guess, I want to say a 7. They don't really look too wide, especially with this 225/75. But It's a 15x7 American Racing. I think they call them a D-window wheel, and some people probably don't like them. It's not my first choice for a wheel, but they were $100 for the set. He was asking $150 and I offered him $100 and he took it. And I mean, they are older. They could use some paint, but I think it really matches the truck well. And these 225/75 15s are decent. They still have tread. They're a little older, but still, I mean, for $100, it definitely beats what we had. And honestly, I think it helped the way that Rump looks. Rump really looks a lot better having 4 matching sets of wheels and tires, especially in black. You guys know I like the black wheels. Really looks tough now. So last time that you guys saw Rump, we talked about the severe need of a set of taillights. So what I've done, I've gone and decided to replace these with a nice set. These are what you would get. I mean, it's like a basic replacement for a truck. See how it has reverse lights built into it? These are not trailer lights. Picked these up for 20 bucks. Found them at the Mopar Nationals in Columbus, Ohio, and they are brand new. They were just pulled off of a truck, and the guy said that he received shipments, so cut them off. Here we go. Let's take the old ones off, then we'll put the new ones on, wire it in. So I don't know how I want to mount these. Just put them here. I think that looks weird. A little bit too far down. I think I'm going to go with... That looks pretty good right there. Only problem is we'll have to drill some holes, but the good thing about this truck is it doesn't matter. So I think that'll look pretty good. We can mount it, measure it out and see where we want to put it, and then make sure it's even on both sides. But I think that would look pretty good, just like that. We're just going to eyeball this one right here. Get the old, oh, that's not the one I wanted. This one. Get the old Sharpie out of here. And I like how it looked right about here. Looks pretty even, doesn't it? You can't even tell, but I think that's close. Marker here. And here. So now we've got 2 dots here that the Sharpie left. So we can actually take and we'll drill right here and right here, and we can actually bolt it to the truck itself. Repo, you like that? Repo. Y'all think he's ignoring me? It's too hot outside. Gotta get in here and get this cold shop floor. Truck was kind of weird without a tail light on this side. You know what's gonna suck though? Let's go over to this side real quick. I'll show you. They actually welded in this. Actually welded in this tail light right here. So this one's bolted. This one up here, that one's gonna be easy to take off. But this one right here, welded. So, okay, whatever. I'm gonna have to cut that one off and make some new holes just like the other side. So I just realized something detrimental to this taillight upgrade. You see what's stamped right there? Fomaco, or Ford Motor Company. I hate to say it, but this truck's ruined. It's over. Okay, so change of plans. What I did instead, I actually swapped these arms right here on each tail light, so that way instead of swinging downward and having to mount it so high, I can actually mount it a lot lower, because if I had mounted it originally the way it was, it's going to be sticking inside the bed. But if I can mount it way down here on the bottom side, like right over here, then I'll be able to actually mount it to where it's under the bed. Whenever I put the bed floor in, it'll all be hidden. So I think it's a lot nicer and cleaner to do it that way. So we'll stick it down here, and it'll still be in the exact same spot, just mounted lower. Beautiful. Ooh. Drill Slip McGee. unfortunately, the truck's unrestorable now. Sorry guys, I've ruined it. 4 mismatched bolts later, and we may be in business. Now, a guy could say that we're in some kind of conundrum here. But unfortunately, I don't like to use that kind of language around here. There's bolt number 2. You gotta be kidding me. I can't believe I just did that. Let's see how she looks before we tighten it up. Wow. I tell you what, you don't need rulers. You don't need tape measures. You just drill a hole where you think it looks good and bolt it in. Man. You like that, Repo? Oh man, he's a fan. So there is the driver's side that I just showed you installing, and here is the passenger side. Same exact process. Drill 2 holes, put 2 bolts through it, and you're done. So now, the hard part. Got the easy part done with mounting the taillights. Now we have to wire them all up. But I must say, Rump's looking a lot better. We don't have 75 different taillights out back, so I'm liking what we see. So I wanted to explain what's going on with Rump's wiring that's been done. So in the last video on Rump, I mentioned that somebody had actually soldered in something into the original turn signal switch, so a lot of the rear harness has been hacked up. So we've got 2 wires that have been fed coming up from the steering column. We've got a red and a red right here. So what happens is, I don't remember which one it is, but the way that they wired it is, so let's say it's this one. This wire is going to feed our brake lights. Now originally the brake lights would feed through the column, and then the turn signal switch and the turn signal wires would be the brake lights and the turn signal lights. And depending on which you had engaged, it would overpower the other. So let's say you had your brakes engaged and you had your left turn signal switch on, then the brake light power would actually not be fed through the turn signal, so the flasher would override it. This, however, if I were to wire it up the way that they have it, which makes sense why they had stacked taillights on each side, if I wired this one in and then wired in the existing wire that works the turn signal switch on the other side, then the brake light's going to leave it on. So that means I'm not going to have a turn signal at all if my brakes are pressed. Same thing with this. This is actually the left turn signal wire. So if I have both of these wired in to the existing tail light, if I just wire it into one wire, because it's going to, all feed into one wire for the brake light, then I'm not going to have a turn signal whenever I press the brakes. So this is not a good thing to have. So what I'm going to have to do is something a little bit hack. So you noticed here that something isn't right. Why is the reverse light flashing right now? So what I've decided to do, this was Dad's idea, for the time being until I can rework the entire harness, because honestly it needs a new harness, the whole truck does. What I'm going to do is the parking light is on its own it's on its own wire within the bulb, and then the brake light was in its own wire within the bulb, and this bulb here is its own wire separately. It's a totally different wire. So what I'll do, I'll wire the brake light into that single wire, and then I'll wire the turn signal into this wire. That way I'll have a brake light and a turn signal at the same time. Now I know I won't have reverse lights, but honestly I would rather have a turn signal than a reverse light and a brake light at the same time, because it's a lot safer. That way I can signal for people. And honestly I could probably find an amber bulb to actually replace that. Now these aren't like your regular press in and turn and lock. These are like the flat ends. So I'm pretty certain that they'll have some kind of amber bulb we could find. It's just a modern bulb. But I know it's kind of hacked, but it's going to work. And honestly, I'd rather have it than not. So we're going to do the other side now. Alright, so everything's been successfully wired up. Let me go ahead and demonstrate you everything how it works. We now have nice, working, functional tail lights. Well, I use the term functional lightly because they are kind of hacked with my turn signals, but it works. And we'll get some orange bulbs to make it work, but really looks like a truck again. That's the biggest thing. So cleaning her up little by little, making things a lot better than what they were. That's what it's all about. And all in all, today's budget was $120 and a little bit of time, wiring, and just a couple of connectors. Nothing major, super simple to do. Check out that speed right there. Couldn't even get over 40 the first time. I'm only going this slow because I'm on a 2-lane. It's 55 almost, and it's pretty dead on. I love this truck, guys. I know it doesn't look like much. This thing is awesome, honestly. As always, a set of wheels and tires can change the look of anything. This thing looks so much better. Just having some matching set of wheels and tires, and actually looking fairly decent, might I add. Now the tires they're a little older. You know, they're good for what they are, and they'll do exactly what I want them to do. This truck, and I mean, honestly, it looks like you could actually make a trip now. I drove it with these wheels and tires. Rides a lot better. I could actually get over 40 miles an hour. Our taillights look really good. No more whatever was going on with it. I like the way that these new ones look, and I think these wheels and tires are a good fit for Rump. And thankfully we can actually take him for some test drives and do some more shakedown runs and actually get it up to speed. So I'm excited for how it looks. I'm ready to see what else we can do with this thing. So that's going to do it for today's video. It's very hot out here, so Rump's giving me some shade right here. But if you notice, wheels and tires turned out pretty nice. I ended up liking them a lot. And just to reiterate, I think these are like 15x7 American Racing soft D wheels, I believe that's what they're called, with a 225/75 15 tire. And I really like the way that they ride out, and the thing cruises out pretty well at 60 miles an hour. Also, if you notice, we did complete our taillight install, and Rump looks so much better and actually has functional taillights and turn signals. And we're going to fix up the way that they're wired. We just had to pretty much rewire the whole harness because it's just hacked. So we'll get to that at some point. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave a comment. You can also email me at the very end of the video, and you can also send your projects to that very same email. Order your t-shirts and your stickers, guys. Thank you so much again, and I'm hoping that we can make some more videos of getting stuff done to him, and maybe we can go on a road trip with this thing. I think it's well deserved. This truck has been through a lot. I think we need to put him back on the road. So thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.